Hey everybody, how's it going? So, John Bolton has been raided. Wonder how it feels. Wonder how it feels to get, exactly what's coming to you. I am so sick and tired of playing nice with the left. I'm like, we should just do everything through the courts. Let's do everything the legal way. And I'm getting to a point where I'm going to really start advocating for Trump to just start arresting these freaks. I'm sick and tired of it because they can't ever leave the will of the people alone. We voted for Trump. We wanted Alligator Alcatraz. We want no wars. And the left in general is doing every single thing they can to weaponize justice system, to make arrests that are absolutely illegal. They're doing this, busting the law, bending the law, however you really want to say it, just to get what they want. And I'm sick and tired of playing nice. This is going to be the last time, in general, probably for the rest of this administration, that I'm going to advocate for things to go fairly. I'm sick and tired of this. John Bolton has been putting us into wars for way too long. Way too long. And now Bolton's, what the heck? Bolton warns Trump's Ukraine shift won't win him a Nobel Prize. Shut up. Nobody cares about the Nobel Prize. We're saying he deserves a Nobel Prize for what he's done. That the world should be recognizing that with him ending these wars, it is literally the definition of creating peace. Therefore, he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. However, the actual prize itself is not the goal. We're just holding liberals accountable, saying you guys are idiots, look at what you're doing. Anyway, though, let's get into this. Top officials at the Federal Bureau of Investigation, I don't know why I even had to say that, have reacted after feds raided the home of former National Security Advisor John Bolton. No one is above the law, FBI agent on mission. FBI Director Kash Patel posted 2X on Friday. Deputy Director Dan Bongino reposted Patel's comments alongside the caption, "Public corruption will not be tolerated." While neither directly mentioned Bolton, a member of President Donald Trump's first-term administration, their comments came shortly after the New York Post reported that the FBI had launched a raid of Bolton's residence in the Washington, D.C. area, citing an unnamed official in the administration. The Post reported that the raid was prompted by a year-long national security probe into Bolton involving classified documents. Ooh, they're getting him for the classified documents now. How's it feel? I bet the left somehow has something negative to say about this. They should also be getting Biden for it. They should go ahead and just lock him up. I don't care that he's a messed up puppet. They should get Kamala Harris for it. They should get the Clintons for it. Anybody who has classified documents should be raided and thrown in prison and treated the exact same way that they tried to treat Trump during his whole Mar-a-Lago raid. Because it's completely ridiculous. It's like, you're going to do this to him? Now it needs to happen to these freaks. So they know how it feels. And as a matter of fact, not just them, they should just be put in prison forever. So future people who are like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't weaponize that. This is completely ridiculous. I think we need to outlaw completely classified documents for the most part. I say completely. You can have time if there's an open investigation, for sure. However, what needs to be made public is the name of the file. Operation whatever the crap you want to call it. That's what the operation should actually be called too. Operation whatever the crap you want to whatever you want to call it, and whatever the file is actually named, like let's say it's Operation Mockingbird or something like that, They have to bring it to Congress and be like, hey, every year we have to renew classification. And they have to state to the public, this is Operation Mockingbird. I cannot discuss anything in the files. I'm going to give each copy to members of Congress for them to read over. And then also members, or also the president and all that. And we are going to hold a vote as to whether this is worthy of keeping classified or not. I think it should be that simple for every single thing in the government. I don't care if it slows things down. Do not care. I am sick and tired of classified documents going on for literal decades, not being released, and having absolutely no pertinence to modern day anything. Like the JFK files. That's not being investigated anymore. Every single thing in that file should be completely released. Not redacted. Unredacted. and released every single piece of information. Same with Martin Luther King Jr. Every single detail. Every single classified document that is no longer being investigated must be released. Maybe with the exception of military weaponry. But I'm talking about operations, boots on the ground, investigations, things like that. I can understand going, hey, we actually have this crazy weapon. It's a weapon. Well, we know what it is. We don't know what it does. But I guess we don't necessarily need to know about that, right? Because we know what it is. So, at the end of the day, I'm sick and tired of anything involving classified documents. I'm sick and tired of being in the dark as to what my government is doing. And I'm sick and tired of being in the dark after the government has completed what they have done and have moved on, and yet we're still in the dark about it? Why? Why are we in the dark about it? Unbelievably stupid. Unbelievably stupid. Okay? Anyway, when reached by telephone, an assistant to Bolton at the Foundation for American Security and Freedom hung up after Newsweek asked about the raid. Further attempts to call went straight to voicemail. Newsweek has also contacted Bolton's representatives via email for comment. Repeated calls to the FBI were picked up, but ended by the receiver before anyone spoke. Now, do they mention about the stuff that was loaded up in all the vehicles? I guess they don't. Let's see what people are saying on here. This is a good person to start with. John Bolton's time has come. He stole national security documents and revealed national security intelligence in a book he wrote and trashed President Trump. The rest of the Democrat criminals are now terrified. That wasn't a smart thing to do. Why would he go ahead and take classified documents, publish it in a book, and then trash Trump with it? That's unbelievably illegal. Let's be honest. In your mind, his real crime was trashing Trump. Oh, but, leave this part out. In your mind, that was the crime done. Well, she actually listed the crime that was committed. So, quick question. Why? Why would you assume that? Second of all, Roger Stone here. How does it feel? Oh, come on, get out of the way. Good morning, John Bolton. How does it feel to have your home raided at 6 o'clock in the morning? Amazing, right? This is the best excuse that this person has. They're like, John Bolton, but he was loved by the Democrats, so I have to defend him, even though it's just, he broke the law. Facts were stated on what he did, and you made a moronic comment. You are allergic to facts and have Donald Trump, I just inserted Donald, Trump derangement syndrome. Another internet leftist. I don't think this guy's real because he hasn't commented back. 59 followers, 301 he's following 301 people. Yeah. I think it's probably just a bot, honestly. More than likely. A few more Republicans are probably on deck as well. Yeah, hopefully. We'll see what happens. Absolutely nothing will come out of it, just like everything else. Come on. I mean, why blackpill it? Why not at least watch it? If something doesn't happen, then complain about it. I don't know why. I'm pretty black-pilled on a lot of issues, okay? But I at least wait for things to take their obvious conclusion before coming out and going, nothing's going to happen, and start crying about it. You know what I mean? People are way too freaking sensitive these days about this. Hopefully they nail... okay, well, maybe. I'll be following the story. Every bad actor has thoroughly gone through their processions and gotten rid of any evidence. I'm sure the experience is harrowing. Man, I cannot read today. I was hunted, now I'm the hunter. We'll see what happens. I really hope Trump actually does something. That would be fantastic. But, it just is what it is, isn't it? So nothing will ever happen to him. Just talk, just exposing, no prison time, just like Obama and Hillary. Good English. Oh my God, they made him the KFC guy. It's amazing. Let's go see the newest post of Roger Stone, because this is going to have all sorts of people here. Okay, I guess it gave me the newest. Wait, where was CNN? Yeah, they didn't report on this, did they? How does it feel to have the results of your raid end up in a jury conviction on separate felony counts? Sort of neuters your ability to claim the moral high ground. Now, Mr. Stone, let's see. And he just says, shove it up your... Yeah. Well, I don't know. I have no clue. I haven't really looked that much into Roger Stone. I don't care. All these people were in at one point together. Who gives a crap? Take them all down, Chuck Todd. I don't know who Chuck Todd is either. John Bolton wakes up from terrifying nightmare of world peace. Right, exactly. No, this is definitely not retribution. Oh my God, really? Do you know anything about this guy? After the way these lizards have targeted Trump for 8 years, call it whatever you want. I really don't care. I agree. You know, Trump committed real crimes. That's the difference. What? What? Overvaluing his property. Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's the real crime. Overvaluing his property. Oh my gosh, it's so bad. He overvalued. He took out a loan and then he paid it off. Oh man, it's almost like, you know, if he were to have taken the loan and then were to be like, oh, my property actually isn't worth this, I should not have to pay you guys back, then maybe we could have talked. He paid back every dollar. Every single dollar. That's kind of like going to a grocery store and taking a candy bar and then like a month later going back there and admitting, hey, I stole this, and you know what? I'm going to either buy this for the price of two, or I'm just going to, you know, buy a candy bar and put it back. I don't know. Something like that. At the end of the day, it's like, hey, you shouldn't have done that. And yeah, you'll probably get banned from the store still. They'll probably be like, look, you know, maybe it's water under the bridge, or maybe, hey, well, you just can't come back here anymore then. But it's not a prison sentence. You know what I mean? At that point, if you pay everything back that you quote unquote stole, which in this case, he borrowed more money than what his property was worth, supposedly. And then you go back and do the comps and find out that that actually wasn't true, which is why it got dropped. But it's just wild to see these people grovel and to be like, no, he committed real crimes. You really consider that a crime? Borrowing more money than what your property is worth and then paying it all back? I would never, ever consider a crime. Never in a million years. Because at the end of the day, that's not even how it works. You can't fool a bank like that. It's actually impossible. You know how I know? I have a mortgage. I've actually had another house before this that I sold. And I've had a HELOC. Guess what? You can tell the bank how much your house is worth all day long. But they're going to have their own appraiser come in, and they're going to tell you what your property's worth. And then they'll give you the money based on that. That's how it works in real life. That's how Trump did it. So when Trump came in and said, my property's worth this, the bank came in, set an appraiser, and they're like, yeah, we agree, and gave him a loan. They had to do that. There's no possible way for Trump to have told a bank, my property's worth this. These must be non-homeowners. These must be really stupid people who live in their parents' basement or in an apartment. Because they have no clue how it works. A bank will never, ever, ever take your word on how much your property's worth ever. They have their own appraisers. They work for the bank. Literally, they are employed by the bank. They go out there. They appraise. They have this little laser thing that, like, if they shoot, like, the laser with the wall, it tells them exactly how far away it is. It's awesome. And they measure the square footage with that. And then they write it down. And then they look at all the other properties around the building. And they go, what are these going for, too? Oh, they're going for roughly $250 a square foot. Well, we have 10,000 square feet in here. So it's going to be $2.5 million is what this building is worth. That's exactly how they're going to do it. Or however much, if I did my math right. 250 million, 2 million, I don't know. Whatever. The point is, that's how they do it, and there's no way around it. So the whole thing about him getting felonies for that is just so stupid. So stupid. Anyway. Was it justice, if not retribution? Who cares? This guy's a war criminal. We didn't want to go to war. He put us into war. The people said no, and he did it anyway. I don't care. This guy needs to be behind bars. He is a war criminal. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys here in the next one. Later.